Hey y'all, new week, new part of the project we're working on. Last week we got the Murphy bed all put together and assembled in the room. This week we're working on the two book stands that are gonna go on the two sides of it. So I already got a bunch of these boards cut down to width. Now we gotta get them cut to length. Making sure we got enough scrap wood on these to actually make the shelves. I'm trying to be as resourceful as I can with the scrap wood. So we'll see if we can get that done. So we're freestyling a little bit with the design here. We're gonna do just some 11¼ inch by 11¼ inch shelves. We're gonna do the walls just on two sides and have kind of a floating corner we're gonna round off. And so cutting out the square shelves, and then we need a couple support pieces for the top and bottom to make kind of casing that looks like what's on the Murphy bed to tie it all in. Now with all this cut up, we will edge band another day. Okay, first thing for today is a bunch of edge banding. Most of these boards are only getting one side edge banded the way I'm going to put it together, so it won't be too bad. Okay, all the long ones are done, and those are going to connect kind of like a V. Then at the top and the bottom, I got to finish out the corners. So I got a long one and a short one. Eventually, they're going to sit like that. Now, on the bottom, the top and bottom are going to be covered. One side's attached. And so it's only the end of the long piece needs to get edge banded. And for these sitting up top, the bottom of both are going to be seen, and then the one edge is going to get seen. So let me go ahead and do the long pieces edge first. All four of those needed. And then we'll do the double up on these ones that need it. Okay, so we got our setup for the two sides. So this will have a complete side, top and bottom covered. This has a top open, this side will be covered. So this is the only part of the build. I think we're going to use pocket holes just to connect these corners. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we'll actually assemble the big cabinet, which these will then get screwed into. Okay, now to connect these two boards, all right, this one is 12 inches. This other one's 11¼ So this one's going to overlap, and I'm just going to screw straight through here into the other one. So the inside dimensions are 11¼ by 11¼ So to do that, I'm just going to mark here, make sure I get my depth right for my pilot holes. I'm going to drill out the pilot holes, add a little glue, screws, and these two things will be stuck together forever. Real thin bead of glue, keeping it to the back side. Really want to get no squeeze out here. The board bows a little bit because it is plywood. So I'm just using my finger underneath here, just push it up just a little bit so it's in line. Well, naturally I put this second one together with the wrong side facing up. So I do a little more edge banding. We'll have one wasted edge band just hanging out the back, but that's okay. Okay, now for these pieces we made. So this is actually the top. We're gonna go with this one. This is gonna be the prettier one. This is gonna be the front. And so which side do I want to be the top? This looks nicer on this side. So I'm putting the full piece right here, and we're gonna screw it in like that. This edge finished facing down because you'll be able to see this. And then we'll take this one, put it down here. This one's not finished because there's going to be actually a shelf that'll sit on this. This should be as simple as gluing and screwing up. I just want to make sure I put that the right way. That is the front, full board facing front, full board facing front. All right, today we're gonna get these shelves built and installed. Two of them we're not cutting any corners on. These will go on the bottom plates. They're corners on the bottom, so we'll leave these two as the bottom ones on the corners. But the other 10 of these, we're gonna use the same 2-inch corner template that came with the Murphy bed. And we're gonna draw that same template on here and take a 2-inch corner off. So after a rough cut with the jigsaw and then sanding these smooth, gonna take our time and make sure we get a nice, good curve on this so that the edge band will stick well to it. So when I round the corners, right, I'm sanding against the grain here, but I found if I just at the end, take it and just go with the grain, it covers up that sand really easy since I'm only on 220 grit. Okay, so to actually attach the shelves, I'm gonna be screwing in from the back. And I got my measurement list essentially from the bottom on where the middle point of each board is gonna be. And I'm gonna trace my line down so I know where to place the screws. I'm gonna put one pocket hole up here in the front corner, going up here, because this bottom one will get screwed from here and here. I'll put one right here to make sure this front lip stays down as well. Okay, first side first. Do this base one right here. So this one's pretty easy because I got this base to essentially set it on. I'm gonna use a clamp to make sure, a square here to make sure it is sitting square. And then we will clamp it in place here so we can set our first screws. Now I went ahead and put in this pocket hole, and I'm gonna go ahead and do all the other boards on this side, and then we will rotate this and do the same thing across the back to get all of these shelves in. Okay, with both sides now screwed in, that is what a final bookcase looks like. Wow, that looks really cool. So the last thing we need are these caps that are going to the top of the cabinet. I'm gonna cut out these squares out of plywood and attach them with just some pocket holes from the top so you won't be able to see it. And we're just gonna paint these black so that they're gonna blend in. They don't need to be walnut. It's gonna be up in there. You're not gonna be able to see it very well. These are gonna go just right in here. And again, this is the top, so it's gonna kind of black it out so you don't see it, but it also gives us good surface on the top. We can just set stuff up there. They're gonna go in just with pocket holes in each corner. And lastly, the whole thing gets rubbed down with cardboard to just take off some of the unevenness in the finish and buff it down a little bit. Makes it a little less shiny. Okay, now to get this in place. I already had one mistake, like a 1/4 inch too tall on it. I just made it a 1/4 inch taller, so oh well. It will just add for some extra storage. So I'm attaching these with screws from the inside into the shelves. So they won't be visible on the shelves. And I'm using these small black screws. So the inside, it matches the rest of the hardware. It'll blend right in. Making sure I'm pre-drilling and I am putting a countersink in so that the head will sit flush with it. And just making sure the 3 of them are set. Well, that wraps up 4 weeks of this project. I really like how the Murphy bed itself came. And again, we followed the instructions of a kit to do all this. Then we kind of freestyled the 2 shelves on the side, made them very similar in style. I think they blend in really nice. This is a whole lot of edge banding. We're up over 150 feet of edge banding. I think we got pretty good at it by the end of it, but still could use some practice. So overall, I hope you liked watching through this the last 4 weeks. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments and be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next project. Thanks.